Hey, Disney cruisers, and welcome back to the DCL community where we are here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited for your Disney cruise. You guys know me, I'm Rebecca, your host and admin of the DCL community. And today we are putting it out there. Don't make these mistakes. Don't do it. We have talked to so many cruisers from around the world, and these are the mistakes that they are making, and we are telling you now so that you don't make those same ones. So as you're coming in, please say hello. Let us know where you're watching from so that we can say hi. And Crissi, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Hi, everybody. I'm Crissi O'Kane, one of your recommended travel advisors with DCL Community. I love being part of this community, and I love cruising. But I talk with I'm always chatty Cathy on the ships. I talk with so many cruisers because it's always important to kind of learn about what people are experiencing and also just to have fun and meet new people, right? And so these are some mistakes that first-time cruisers often make that we want to make sure that you avoid. Yeah. I'm excited to share it with you.
Oh my gosh, yes. Learn from everybody else. And there's just you saying that, I remembered something that came up, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. But I was sitting around the pool and I'm like, how did you not know that? But it's because they don't hang out with us on a regular basis.
They don't.
But if you don't want to make any mistakes in your cruise journey, reach out to Crissi. She is here to help. Her planning services are actually free for you to utilize. So she can help you decide on the ship, the itinerary, the exact stateroom, like the amount of details that this wonderful, wonderful human can get you will blow your mind. So reach out to her, let her help so that you don't have to worry about mistakes and you can just worry about enjoying your vacation. But let's go ahead and dive into mistake number one. This is, I feel like, especially lately, more and more people are like, can I get a last minute deal? Can I get a last minute deal?
Yeah. So last minute deals, right? Like I'm getting that one, like a call about that, like every week, like people that want to cruise. And now I will say that right now, specifically, there are good offers for September if you are willing to be in a restricted rate, meaning you pay it all up front, Disney picture room. But that's not typical. Typically, the best pricing is going to be booking as soon as itineraries are released. But what we see a lot is people that want to not necessarily do it super last minute. They're thinking like, I want to look like 3 to 4 months out. That's actually extremely last minute in the cruising world. Okay. People are like, looking at spring break now. And it's like 6 months away or 6 to 10 months away, depending on when your school spring break is. And people think that's really like, oh my gosh, I'm planning so far ahead. Like school starts in 2 weeks and I'm already planning spring break. No, spring break sailings have already kind of like passed a couple of different pricing hurdles. With other cruise lines, you see sales and promotions all the time. Royal Caribbean's dropping a huge one Wednesday. I don't even know what day of the week it is. Like DCL just doesn't operate that way, right? They have a standard price point and it doesn't really vary like up and down. It just kind of steadily climbs as the ship fills. And so we really want you to book early. And the benefit to that is DCL also wants you to do that. And they've set up their pricing model so that you do that. The deposit is fully refundable up until final payment, provided that you don't book a restricted fare. So talk with your agent and make sure that we're not doing that. And it's transferable if your plans change. So, you can always get it refunded back to you. Or you could be like, hey, these dates, like my kid's school schedule, it actually changed. Spring break's the following week. No problem. Let's move your deposit over. Totally no problem. But give us the best possible opportunity to lock in that lowest price point and start your planning process earlier and earlier to take advantage of better hotel rates for your pre-night stay, better flight rates, because now you can set Google alerts. Like there's so many advantages. Oh my gosh, shore excursions, right? You don't have to wait till your booking window with Disney Cruise Line opens. Book early, start looking at outside options ahead of time. Like so many things. If we can book a year out, a year and a half out, which right now we're struggling to book a year and a half out because Disney's delaying that itinerary release. But booking early is so good with Disney Cruise Line, and it's more important than other cruise lines for sure.
And I know that there's somebody out there right now who's like, I would love to book far in advance, but Disney cruises are an investment. Like, how am I supposed to get all that money? Can you make payments? What's it like?
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about that.
It used to be a 20% deposit. Right now, Disney Cruise Line only requires a 10% deposit, which is really helpful. And then your final payment is due either 90 days prior to sail or 120 days prior to sail, depending on the length of sailing. So you can make payments as frequently as you like, or you can wait till the very end, that last due date, and pay it all at that point. And I really actually recommend that, because you can just pay yourself. Ready? Every month, just transfer this into a little Disney Cruise Line savings account. Continue to get your little savings account interest on it, and then eventually plunk it all down on the cruise. Also, if your plans do change due to like a medical emergency or something, yes, everything paid to Disney Cruise Line is fundable, but now we don't have to wait for them to issue that refund. You still have it. So I always recommend that strategy. You pay yourself monthly instead of paying Disney Cruise Line monthly, and then you've got it all ready to go when it's time to pay the cruise. But you can pay them monthly, you can pay them weekly, you can whatever schedule you want. But you can only do that if you book in advance. If you do something last minute, your payment's still going to be due 90 or 120 days. If we're booking within that time period, it's going to be due right away.
Yeah. Oh man. Okay. Those are such good things to keep in mind. I love what you said. You have like a little Disney fund, because I'm thinking about my financial advisor saying, let it gain interest. And then you're kind of getting free money for your Disney cruise if it's sitting in an interest account. And I knew somebody was going to ask about when the itineraries are going to drop. We would love them to
I
have
would love
dropped.
to know.
Yeah. When we know, you'll know. And then where is it? Hannah's asking, if I have a placeholder that I've applied and then decide that I want to move it to a new sailing, will the placeholder transfer? Will the discount still apply?
Yes, provided that the new sailing is within 2 years of that original booking date. So yes, you need to call, and you can actually modify sorry, that policy has changed. You don't need to call anymore. You can modify it online, and you'll still get that 10% discount, provided to two things. One, that the sailing you're choosing is still within the 2 years of your original placeholder purchase, and two, that it's not a blackout date sailing.
Oh, good point. Good point. And then Danny is asking, do other cruise lines have the guarantee rate room? We like doing those on Disney.
Yeah, so almost every cruise line has that option. Some of them it's an extreme discount. Some of them it's a smaller discount. Some of them it's kind of like the way you book, and you actually like the starting price is guaranteed, and then if you want to choose your room, you pay an additional fee for that, and it comes with additional perks. That's how MSC operates. So, talk with me, reach out. I do plan every cruise line. I am the queen of cruising. I absolutely love cruising. So we go over kind of what's the best fit if you are a guarantee room person. The different cruise lines have different ship layouts. So the risks for guarantee rooms are different depending on what ship you're booking. Some ships have a lot of obstructed view rooms. Some ships don't. So it's something to consider.
Yeah, I was going to say, Crissi's so good at looking at the layout of the cruise, of the actual ship, and helping you kind of hedge those bets. Because if it's only going to be, if you're saving $50, but you're risking being in a place that's not going to make you a very happy sailor, Crissi, she's going to talk through those options with you. So I love this. And everybody, keep the questions coming. We're going to do our best to get to all of them.
Definitely.
Sorry, one more for you. When do they do blackout dates? Is it just for the holidays?
So yeah, it's mostly holidays, and then a couple. There used to be like pretty consistent spring break blackout dates, but now that we're seeing a lot of variability in spring break schedules, those dates, like there's usually is one in sometime in March or April on every ship, but it's quite possible it's not your school spring break. So let's talk about it and see if it works. I do also see we have a comment from Robin asking how the Disney Adventure is looking, and I'm not sure whether you mean like construction. Construction is looking good. It had a good float out. It's looking good. We don't know a whole lot about the inside of it, but we know the outside looks good. As far as bookings, most sailings still have tons of availability, and I do book a lot of adventure. So reach out and let's get you booked. I'm super stoked. I'll be on it next October.
I'm so excited for you. I cannot wait to see what the inside of the ship looks like. Then talking about booking with you, not using a travel professional that specializes in cruising. I know this one always irks me. So let's talk through it.
Let's talk through it. And I do say that maybe Rebecca can link it. She's like so pro level at that. We did a whole video on how to choose the right travel agent for you. And I think it's really important, whether it's me or somebody else, have the right relationship with your agent and choose the right agent for the right vacation. I have had so many calls, again, like it's probably about one a week, that someone tells that they worked with a different agent previously, and that agent just really didn't provide support for their cruise. And then they were like, you know what, I really shouldn't have been surprised because, she specializes in Disney parks, or she books mostly all inclusives, and so talk to your agent and find out what it is that they love. And that's what I love about this industry. I love my industry. I think it is the best job. I have so many colleagues in this industry that do really cool things, and we all do different things. And I think that's so cool. I personally specialize in family cruising. Every ship, I've been on it. I love it. If it sails, I'm all about it. Let's do it. Expedition style, river cruising, all of it. But I don't book the theme parks anymore unless it's pre-cruise. I don't do a whole lot of all-inclusives, just a little bit to support cruise clients looking for a different destination. So talk with somebody that really knows cruising, because what can happen is you book with your agent that you like already know, or they live in your neighborhood, and you're not actually getting the perks of using an agent, right? And what is that? And the biggest perk is not onboard credit, which a lot of people assume. The biggest perk is access to my knowledge. I have, like I said, I've sailed every Disney ship, I've sailed almost every Royal Caribbean ship, sailed multiple MSC ships, Carnival, all of it. And I have clients right now on every major line out there. Every day, every week, I have somebody on everybody's ship, right? And that's really important to help my clients find the best sailing, the best cruise line for them. If you book with somebody that's never cruised before or has cruised just a tiny bit, just booked a few, they're not going to be able to help you make the right decisions about what extras to purchase, what stateroom to pick, what ship is right for you, what itinerary is right for you. Have they been to all the destinations that your ship is potentially going to? So you really want to work with an agent that has that knowledge already, and it's like already an expert. You don't need them to be. They don't need to go Google. They already know. When my clients schedule a consult with me, it's like I don't spend time researching. I already have the answers. I know. And that way they are getting the best, direct from the source, the best information possible.
Yes. And, I know that a lot of people have relationships with a travel agent and they'll, oh, but I really like my agent. And it's nothing against your agent that's not what they specialize in, but it's making sure that they want you to have the best experience. So it's finding somebody who's going to be your go-to for cruising, building that relationship, letting them get to know you and your family, asking those questions, because I cannot tell you the amount of people who are like, oh, I had no idea. And I'm like, if you had booked with an agent who knows their stuff, I mean, Crissi could bring you on a tour of the ship in her sleep, and that's the level of care and detail that you want from an amazing agent. And someone's asking, do agents have fees? Some agents do, some agencies do. Crissi, I know your services are free.
Correct.
With cruising. So it's just a conversation to have, ask those questions, get to know somebody, see if it's a good fit. And, it's ultimately it's your vacation. I know some people are like, oh, I don't need a travel agent. I can do it all. I have been sailing with Disney Cruise Line since 1999. I could book a Disney cruise on my own, but I don't want to, because I don't want to call Disney when something goes wrong or something needs to be changed and have the same conversation that I've had a million times because I get a different person on the 1-800 number. I like being able to say, Crissi, what type of stateroom we like. We know, where we like to be on the ship. Our favorite ship already, just new itineraries came out. She could just literally book it all for us. She's got our back. There's so much value in that relationship that goes beyond just booking the cruise.
Totally. And especially with experienced cruisers like yourself, you have experience cruising, but every cruise comes with some new experiences for you too, right? Like you sailed with somebody new for the first time, and now we need excursions that appeal to a different personality type than yours, right? So we need to do some research on different excursions and different destinations that maybe you haven't been before, right? I get so many cruisers coming to me for their first Alaska cruise. They're like, I've done the Caribbean. I don't need help with that. I know how to go to the beach, but I don't know how to do the glaciers. What do I do?
Such a good point.
Whether you're a first-time cruiser or not, don't make this mistake. Don't, either book yourself and then panic later, or book with an agent that doesn't specialize in what you need.
Yes. And for the person out there right now who's like, oh no, I did book by myself. If you booked less than 30 days ago, you can still transfer, and it's not paid in full. You can still transfer that over to Crissi. And if not, still potentially reach out, because there might be.
We'll do a consult always.
Yes. Okay. Packing.
Packing. Okay. Packing is I'm sorry, the text is so small because there's so many mistakes that are related to packing. I didn't even go into the kids component of packing, right? I just focused on the overall. first time cruisers, and like, here's the thing, it's your first time doing anything, right? Like, it's hard to be prepared, right? Like, we just had our floors refurnished for the first time, and I didn't know that that's going to involve like nasty chemicals, and we're going to need to move out of the house, right? Like, every time you do something for the first time, there are things you learn along the way. So when it's your first time on a cruise, packing usually doesn't go well, and that's okay, right? It's not a disaster usually, but you either overpack, you underpack, you end up with like, I packed a whole suitcase of stuff that the internet recommended that I just did not need, or you end up not bringing things that, you're on the ship and you're like, oh man, we didn't bring, my daughter's favorite princess dress, because I just didn't realize that kids wear princesses dresses to dinner just because, like just simple things like that. So generally the biggest trend for first-time cruisers is that they overpack on unessentials and they forget to pack kind of weather-appropriate essentials. You start to really focus on the fact that, the new part of this vacation is that it's on the water, on a cruise, right? You've done the beach before. You've done a hotel stay before. You've eaten out at restaurants before. Like, none of that is new, but we're in this like floating thing. And so people just start obsessing over like all the room organization stuff. Oh my gosh, the stateroom's going to be small. So we're going to need all these different organizers, and we're going to need pop-up hampers, and we're going to need magnetic hooks for all the walls. And we're going to need like a magnetic dry erase board. No, you're not. You're never going to write on it. Not once. Not once. Okay. You can put it on your door and other people can write messages to you on it. But like, that's the best use case for it at this point. Like, you've got the app, you can chat now. You don't need to like leave a note to tell your parents where you are anymore. Those days are gone.
True. What a
do you remember those
throwback.
days? Do you remember leaving a note on the dry erase board? Like, hey, I'm at the pool. Like,
Yes.
yeah, it's gone. Bags. Oh my gosh, bags. Okay, moms, you need one backpack that's not super heavy, but also like not like, completely non-durable for all of your, like every time that you go off the shore. You just need one bag. You don't need a beach bag and a hiking bag and a bunch of little purses. I collect Loungefly. Okay. I cruise with a bunch of little like accessory purses, but you don't need a million different types of bags for every time you're off the ship. You don't. Oh my gosh, you don't. And the magnetic everything. Door magnets, decorate your door, that's a personal choice. But like filling your room with, we need magnetic lights, and we need magnetic hooks for our bathing suits, and no, you don't. The Disney rooms have the most storage of any cruise line, promise. You'll be okay.
That's good to know.
Yeah, great storage on Disney Cruise Line, no matter which ship, older ships, newer ships, both. Things you do need. Think about the weather, right? Go back to basics, okay? I cannot tell you how many of my cruisers forget sunscreen, or they go and they get their travel size sunscreen, but it's like not the brand their kids like, and it's not what they're used to, and like things. So bring the full size sunscreen, okay? Put it in your regular checked bag so that you don't have an issue with airport TSA. There's no problems with cruise line TSA. They love sunscreen. Bring it. Totally fine. You may look at your excursions. You may need to have reef-safe sunscreen at some point, depending on what you're doing. So if you're doing something that involves diving or something that involves snorkeling in a protected reef, you may need reef-safe sunscreen just for that activity. Cruise lines do have it on board. It's expensive, so I would buy it on Amazon ahead of time. But bring the sunscreen works for your family, whether it's the face sticks, whether it's the whatever. Bring it. Oh my gosh, bring it. Don't get sunburned on a cruise. Sunglasses.
Worst.
And comfortable beach shoes. This is, oh my gosh, look out, especially it's rough here. But like I see like them like, oh, I don't have my water shoes and it's rocky, all the time, right? Just bring those things. And then for Alaska and Europe, pack clothing in layers. Oh my gosh, everybody remembers their fancy dress for formal night. Everybody remembers their little pirate dress, but people don't realize you need clothes for walking through like European towns, and you need clothes for going through the glacier. You're going to need at least, like, best case scenario for Alaska, at least one day there's going to be rain. You need something waterproof so that you're not miserable in the rain and you can still enjoy. Alaska is so enjoyable in the rain, promise, as long as you have the appropriate clothing.
Such a good point.
And then medicine. So this is the other thing that people obsess over, especially first-time cruisers, is the motion, right? Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to feel the ship. I need a midship room. Maybe you do. It's not going to make that big of a difference, promise. The thing that's going to make the most difference is weather. If the seas are rocky, you're going to feel it everywhere. Promise.
Yeah, such a good point.
So bring motion sickness medicine. My family likes to use the bracelets. Other people like the ear patches. Other people like just plain old Dramamine. Whatever, experiment. See what works for you. Then bring a general pain reliever. Bring Band-Aids, because pool toes, rocky beaches, or just stubbed toes, sometimes shoes hurt. Just bring Band-Aids. And then bring an allergy medicine. Okay, so you don't need to bring your whole medicine cabinet, but bring those staple medicines so that you're not paying for that on board, because not fun.
Yes.
Then some personal preference stuff, right? So there are theme nights. A lot of first-time cruisers don't necessarily realize how much of the ship is going to participate in pirate night. Like, I have so many parents that only pack outfit for their kids, and then they're like, hey, that other dad is in a full-on Captain Hook costume.
Yes.
It's not mandatory, but it is a possibility, right?
Yeah.
Bring a character signing material. So it doesn't necessarily need to be an autograph book, but bring something. And I actually don't love autograph books. I love things that are really easy to carry, like hats, or like you've already got it on, so just whip it off and you've got a fabric pen that you're ready to go. Bring stuff that you can easily walk around with to get those signatures when the opportunity arises. And packing some ears. Again, you don't need a whole suitcase full of ears, but you could if you really want to, but have some, because people do wear them at dinner. People do wear them just walking around Castaway. So if that's going to make you feel like part of the crew, pack it. Fish extender. Oh gosh, this could have been a whole slide.
Yeah.
So, and we do also have a video all about fish extenders. So if you're like, what's that?
Yes.
Fish extender is like an onboard gift exchange. It is completely unofficial. It's not affiliated with Disney Cruise Line at all. It is totally guest run. But this is often really overwhelming for first time. They're like, I need to buy gifts for people? I need to pack all that? No, you don't. It's optional. But I do find that it is a really happy medium is to make your extender or buy one. You can buy them pre-made. They hang on your doorway. You've got a little pocket for each person in your room, or just one pocket for your whole family. And just pixie dust, which means I'm just going to bring some little trinkets, like maybe some candies or some bracelets or some little, cruising ducks or whatever from Five Below. And I'm going to put them in random ones. And guess what? You're going to get gifts put in yours too. Promise. My last cruise, I sailed with a good friend of mine and her family, and we had one on our door and they had one on their door. I had stuff for her kids every day. And they had stuff for us every day. And it was like, that was all we needed. We just did it between us two, and it was wonderful. But we still also got so much pixie dust from the rest of the ship too. All this candies and trinkets and bracelets and hair bows, and which I collect hair bows. So that worked out great. But anyway, so don't stress about the packing. Really don't stress about it. Remember to just go back to basics. Make sure that you have your weather appropriate stuff. Don't make a whole suitcase for room organization because the internet told you that you need all these things. Your stateroom's going to be just fine. And watch a video tour of your stateroom ahead of time so that you are aware of how much storage you have, and you can figure out how to pack, for your whole family and how to store it without it being overwhelming.
Yes. Oh my gosh. If I see one more video about this different organizer that you need for your Disney cruise, I'm like, no, you don't.
No, you don't.
We've been cruising for a long time without them. I know that it helps have more space. And if we can cruise with a maxed out stateroom and not need anything extra, I promise you'll be okay. And I think if I was going to add anything here, it would be in general. I think most people don't realize how casual Disney cruises are. You're not going to be dressed to the nines all the time. People, if you're doing a Caribbean cruise, people are walking around in their swimsuits and their cover-ups and shorts and t-shirts. You're not having to dress up for dinner every night unless you want to. I would say, take a little bit of that pressure off to feel like you have to dress. If you want to dress up, you want to dress for the dinner theme every night, you go for it. It is your vacation. But I think in general, people don't realize how casual it is. And the only thing I'll add, because I have a sensitive stomach, maybe bring some Tums just in case.
True. Yeah.
That's just a couple days after too many ice creams, and you're glad that you have the Tums.
Yes.
But let's talk about. I could go on about this one.
I know. This is one that really grinds your gears, right?
It does.
Activities. Oh my gosh. Okay, so as like the queen of cruising, I will tell you that There is no other cruise line that does activity booking the way Disney Cruise Line does. It actually irritates me beyond belief. It does. It really does. Every single other cruise line, like you book your cruise, you log in, and now you can view shore excursions and onboard activities. And some things may open up later, like entertainment reservations or whatever. But there's no waiting for the specific day and having to book it at midnight or have your agent book it for you at midnight because you booked with an agent that knows what she's doing. But, so the fact that Disney does this, it just like creates anxiety. So it's not your fault. It's really not your fault that you have anxiety about this because it's like set up to create anxiety. But you really don't need to stress about it. So many first-time cruisers, I will get a text message at 90 days prior. And they're like, everybody else has booked excursions. I'm like, yes, that is how Castaway Club booking works. So yes, you still have to wait 2 weeks. So first-time cruisers get to book their activities 75 days prior to sailing. And this is for like about 10% of the actual activities on the ship. About 90% of the activities, trivia, game shows, all the large-scale Broadway entertainment, you just show up. But there are just a few activities that do need to be reserved in advance. And that includes things like port adventures, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique makeovers, spa services, adult beverage tasting, and the adults only specialty dining. And first-time cruisers absolutely panic. They are like, oh my gosh, mixology is already full. I already found out from the Facebook group. Don't worry about it. Make your own mixology. Go to the bar. Have fun. So once then their window opens, a lot of times something will be sold out. You'll see in the Facebook group if you're sailing that the Silver Sailors are reporting that, oh, mixology is sold out or Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique is sold out. That's only available on Castaway Day now or whatever. And then when it comes time for first-time sailors to book, all of a sudden there are more times available. So don't panic. It's okay. But also, so then the reaction is like, I'm going to book all the things. We're going to all of my kids are going to have a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and they're all going to do it on separate days.
Oh, don't do.
We're going to do. Oh my gosh! Well, my husband and I love alcohol, but we love different types of alcohol. So we're going to do all the tastings, and we each need a spa appointment, and everybody, 2 nights we're going to do Palo one night, and we're going to do Remy another night. Oh my goodness, you're missing out on so much. Like so much. There's the rotational dining. Like in addition to going to 3 different restaurants, there's also themed menus at those restaurants some nights. You don't want to miss that. All of the pop-up character events. This photo of my Flynn and I and the real Flynn and Rapunzel, that was not a reserved opportunity, right? We were just walking through the atrium, finishing up with trivia, and they're there hanging out, right? We would have missed out on that if we were doing some, tasting with our friends, right? But you also really need to just make sure that you save time for just relaxing, right? This picture of my husband and I, of our boots and bows, that's our token cruise picture. We get it every cruise. And if we fill our schedule with reserved activities, we won't have time for our favorite activity, which is just lounging by the wake of the ship.
Yes.
And that's why you're on a cruise, to be like, well, I don't know, everybody has different reasons, but I think the reason you should be on a cruise as opposed to doing a land-based vacation is to be connected to the ocean and relax and have that magical ocean moment. So save time for it. Don't overbook your stuff. Don't panic if a certain activity is sold out. When guests learn, that there are not very many cabanas,
man.
Yeah, people panic, right? They panic. You don't need a cabana, I promise you. Are they wonderful? Sure, yeah. But do you need one? No way. Rebecca has so many videos about all the free seating at Castaway. And Lookout. You don't need one. Are they wonderful? Yeah. But do you need it? No. And are you going to get one as a first-time sailor? Highly unlikely. Highly unlikely. Possible, yes. Highly unlikely.
And if you are like, I just have to, I would, woe is me without it. Talk to Crissi about Sailing Concierge.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the only way.
We can try and circumvent and still, things aren't a guarantee even with the Sailing Concierge. But I promise anybody watching right now that you could go on a Disney cruise, not spend a penny more outside of gratuities, which you can prepay. You can not spend a penny more and not have a single thing reserved in the app ahead of time. And you are going to have the best time.
Absolutely.
That's my favorite way to cruise. When you have all these things going on that you've pre-booked, and then you're like, oh my gosh, there was a guest speaker from Pixar, and now I have to miss it because I have my tasting, or you miss Jack's diaper dash because the kids have to be in the boutique.
Yeah.
Don't, like, I didn't even do a tasting. I did my first tasting like 2
I
years
know.
ago.
Yeah.
You don't need these things. They're all extras. So don't stress. Enjoy. Don't do it. Don't stress. Don't fall for the hype of the internet. We're here to we're basically
Here to educate.
Mythbusters, but
Yeah.
for Disney cruises. It's great.
That should be our new title.
Yeah.
I like it. Let's start a reality show.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So just like you said, how you can sail without spending anything beyond prepaid gratuities, that is so true. That is my personal way to sail. But it is also very easy to lose track of spending, because while there is so much included, there's also so much not included, and it's like sneaky, it just sneaks up. So the biggest thing is port adventures, and that you know in advance, right? So we booked that in advance. You know what it costs. It's not a surprise. So it's pretty easy to budget for. That's generally the biggest expense. But then we get into the onboard spend, and that can just start to add up really quickly. And there are ways to reduce it, right? So the next one is going to be that alcohol and specialty beverages. If you are someone that really enjoys certain types of alcohol, look for the drink of the day. Be willing to try new things. Be a little bit flexible. Look for that beer mug promotion. If you're a coffee drinker, get that Cove coffee. Oh my goodness, get the coffee card from Cove Cafe so that you have that discounted coffee on your 6 beverage purchase, right? So look for the ways to work around it, but just know that these things add up. And spa services, those are also really pricey, but they're not as popular. So like they're the bottom of my list, just because the spa is a bit more of exclusive. Less people are doing it than people are drinking and shopping. But really try to budget in advance. And this also means talking to your kids, because they are going to see, right? So it's not just alcohol that's not included, right? There's also like light up drinks with glow cubes at almost every restaurant. There's, the newer ships all have like a specialty ice cream parlor. Oh goodness. They can come, you can get ice cream delivered in a Vanellope's little race car, or the like ice cream truck at Zootopia. Like, gosh, all the popcorn buckets and the specialty sippers, right? So have a conversation with your kids ahead of time and say, hey, we're not going to say no to everything, but I want, we're going to pick one special thing. We're going to go to the ice cream shop as a family one time. There's also free ice cream on board, so you could also just walk past it and just hope they never notice this other ice cream shop, right? But it's hard. They make it so pretty and colorful. It's hard to not notice it.
I was gonna say those Imagineers know what they're doing.
They know. But talk to my kids. Say like, listen, it's a 4-night cruise, so that means that you get one night where you get a special drink, or you get one night where you get to get popcorn at the movie theater or something like that. And like really think about what will make them what are they going to actually enjoy more? And how can you also offset, right? So be like, hey, we're not going to do popcorn. We're going to get cookies from Cabanas, and we're going to take them to the movie theater with us. Oh my gosh, guys, cookies at the movie theater? Okay, right. Cookies are free at Cabanas. So think about those strategies to kind of offset. And then the other strategy that I didn't list out here, but a lot of my clients do, is go ahead and pre-purchase a Disney gift card and be like, this is what we're spending. This is the amount, and it's fixed. So that way you have that kind of like, oh, my card is no longer active. Well, I guess I'm done with specialty drinks for the cruise kind of moment, to be prepared, because this just really starts to add up really quickly when you're looking at like $12 a drink sometimes.
Yeah.
So try to keep that in mind.
And Anna is asking, can kids charge things? Worried about this?
No. So you do have to activate charging privileges, and you have to be 18. So no, they can't. So you're good there.
And Catherine's asking, can you add those gift cards to a kid?
So you would add them to your onboard, you would use the gift card for your onboard account. You could do it ahead of time by going into the Navigator app or the DCL specialty services and onboard gifts and purchasing onboard credit with your gift card. And then you don't have to visit guest services with your gift card. But no, you would either need to like have the kiddos physically carry the gift card with them, or you would need to like just be with them to pay for the services and use your Magic Band or your key to the world card.
Yes, and somebody else earlier had asked if you need Magic Bands, so I'm glad you just said that.
Oh, goodness. You know what? I should have included that as not budgeting for extras, too. No, I don't think you need Magic Bands at all. Are they fun and convenient? Totally, yes. Now, I used to say that I actually did not recommend them for the first, like, I don't know, like 6 months of their use because it was inconsistent, like how well they were utilized, right? So you would like get to go cafe and like, oh, well, our Magic Band reader is down, so we can't actually. But now that problem is pretty much totally eliminated. They work everywhere on the ship, and I personally find it a lot more convenient than carrying a card around with me. Other cruise lines have bracelets, and other cruise lines have bracelets that are free. But you know, is it an expense that's necessary? No, I don't think so. For your kids, they will get a free one at the kids club. It's a like $10 charge, and then it gets refunded back to you, provided that you return that bracelet. It's not the same. It doesn't light up. It doesn't let them in and out of the room. But like they'll still get a bracelet and like get to walk around with a bracelet, and like the bracelet will let them in and out of kids club. So I don't think they're mandatory. I don't think they're necessary. And at this point, they're not mandatory. They're still it's kind of either or Magic Band or Key to the World card.
Yeah, they both do the same exact things, and they're nice to have. I think if you go to the parks, it makes sense to have them for both. But if you're just going on the cruises, for me, it's easy enough. You have a lanyard, you have it in your pocket. I just keep it in my beach bag in the same pocket every time. And then where was the question? Bella is asking, this is a good one, worried about my kids running into the gift shop. They're going to want everything. And so am I. I feel, merch is hard to say no to. Any tips? Yeah. So either set a daily amount and say like, every kiddo, this is your budget to spend today. And it's on everything. So, maybe you have $20 a day and that's for your shopping and your personal items, or set a whole cruise. Like, we're going to go into the store one time. And that's it. We're going to go in one time and then we're not even going in. I will say that one nice thing about Disney stores is that they're not like super, like they don't like force you to walk through them like at the parks where you have to walk to the gift shop every time you exit a ride. They are centrally located. They're right there in the atrium. You're going to walk by it when you're going to dinner. But it's not like you're forced to walk through them. So like make that affirmative, statement with your kiddos that, hey, we're not going in the stores right now. We're going to go in, set a time. Like we're going to go on the sea day at this time, and you guys get to spend. You each have this much to spend. Most items in the store, if you look, like you can see, it's that picture that the second to the right. You can find those prices on like almost like every blog has like pretty accurate pricing on the on their websites. So you can kind of roughly know like what budget you need to give your kiddos if they're looking for the toys, if they're looking for shirts or whatever. So you can set a reasonable amount ahead of time and just, this is what we're doing. And I would recommend just only going in one time. Just don't even go in multiple times. Just one time. Yeah. Our shopping spree. This is what part of our ski day is, our, hour in the store, and you each have this much, and be firm and say, this is it. Yes. I was going to say, our parents always said you get one thing. So we had one item, and my sister and I would the whole cruise. We'd be like, we want this. No, we want this. And by the end of it, we had to choose what our one thing was. And for me, it always ended up being a pin. But you can also, you don't have to, you can go one deck up, one deck down. So you don't have to walk through them all the time. Let's see. Do Magic Bands works if they aren't charged?
They work. I think I understand what you're meaning. They will work for certain things. So they will still open your room. They will still get you in and out of kids clubs, and they can still work to be purchased. But if you have not plugged, like to use as a type of purchasing, right? But they will not light up, and you won't be able to change the color. So they won't participate in Pirate Night where they all flash red and whatever. Like that part won't work. That is, the battery is basically for the lights.
And then where was it? Somebody's asking, can you bring your own dresses for Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique?
Absolutely. So when you make the appointment at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, all you're doing is reserving a time. You're not picking your service or your what princess you want to look like or anything like that. The menus generally are posted online, and they do get updated, but not that frequently. So generally you can kind of know what your service options are. And the lowest cost item is always hair and makeup only, where you either supply your own dress or you just don't wear a dress and you have your hair and makeup done and you wear whatever you want to wear. And you see a lot of little girls doing that strategy because like princess dresses are just not that comfortable. So, you see that very common, but yes, absolutely. Bring your own dress. Then you know that your dress fits them and it's what they love. And it also helps them like, hey, I brought a Cinderella dress, so we're going to do the Cinderella hair. And it kind of helps to kind of streamline that decision-making process because it can be really overwhelming. You walk in there and there's like choices and they're, oh my gosh, princess, how are we doing today? What are we doing? It's like, whoa. So it can actually really help to bring your own dress.
Yes. I love that idea. You can get one at Target, get one on sale for Halloween is coming up. And then Liz is asking, do you need to purchase internet for phones to work for basic texting?
Technically, yes, but depending on your phone, sometimes like people with iMessage say iMessage still works. I'm an Android user, so I have never had that experience. If you are looking to just message with somebody on board the ship, you can do that for free through the app. You do not need to purchase internet for that. But technically you would want to purchase the lowest level internet package. You don't need the streaming. And then you can do text and even calls over Wi-Fi. I've called Rebecca. Actually, I don't know if I called you or you called me while I was on the cruise Wi-Fi, but it was perfect.
Yes. I called you on that one. Yeah. That's so throwback. And I know I have iMessage and it's sometimes the messages go through and sometimes they don't. People say the same thing for WhatsApp too. But in order to use the Disney Cruise Line app, you can use the complimentary Wi-Fi, which you don't have to pay for. But anything above that, you'd probably want to pay for. I say just disconnect and enjoy your vacation. But I think it's time for bonus slide.
Oh my gosh. So many first-time cruisers don't book a placeholder. And I always tell my clients, like, even if you're like, I don't know if we're going to do this again. If we do this again, we might not do it in 2 years. Like, I don't know, just book it. Just book it because it's fully refundable, right? So you pay $250 on board and you do it right through your phone. You don't have to go see somebody. You don't have to wait in line. It's right there in the app. It's like the top thing in the app right now. They really want you to see it.
So funny. I remember back in my day, you used to have to wait at the cruise counter and that last day the line would be crazy. Oh man. They make it so easy.
They make it so easy. And this is truly like people talk about like, how do I save money on a Disney cruise? This is the way, the truth, and the life, okay? Placeholder is the way because it can be combined with many things. So you'll receive 10% off your next sailing, plus that $250 that you paid on board will go towards your deposit. And the 7+ night sailings have a reduced deposit. It's now 5%. Like it's wild. There are just a few blackout dates, mostly holidays, and it can't be combined with restricted rates. Okay, so that's a distinction. So that means it can't be combined with those IGT, OGT, or VGT, which is inside, ocean view, and veranda, guaranteed, that are restricted. But there are many, many promotional rates that it can combine with, like just guarantee rates, just GTY rates. We see that all the time. Small discount, and then combine it with your placeholder for a huge discount. It can be combined with not really an official discount, but like the opening day pricing, right? Which is generally the lowest pricing, and combine that with 10% off. Awesome sauce. A lot of people say you can't book concierge with a placeholder, and that is false. You don't get the 10% off when you book concierge, but you do. Your $250 goes towards it, just like it would, and you get onboard credit. So it's not necessarily the best value, but if you are a concierge sailor, why not get that bonus onboard credit? Like just book another placeholder and get bonus onboard credit for your next concierge sailing. So it does still work for concierge as well. Just you don't get that 10% off. That's all. So definitely book a placeholder. And if you sail and forget to book a placeholder, there used to be a program to help you out on your first cruise. There's not an official program anymore. You just have to call and see if they'll let you. But if not, then reach out to your amazing travel pro, and we'll try to find you discounted sailings that will work. But truly, when people ask me how to save my non-Disney cruise, the truth is you just got to get on one and then get a placeholder and just always have one available. But so like I said in the beginning, I forgot to write this. It's fully refundable. So if you don't use it in 2 years, they refund it back to you. Or if you're like, hey, it's only been a year, but we've got a financial hardship, we could really use that 250 back. No problem. Cancel it. It's refunded back to you. We don't have to wait 2 years to get it back.
Yes, so true. I'm so glad that you mentioned this one because this is such a great way to save. They make it so easy to book and just stay in the club.
Yeah.
And I had something else that I wanted to say on this, and it's just totally escaped me. But Amanda is saying, coming from Australia to the U.S. to sail with girls, are they too old for Bippity Boppity Boutique? And will they have sizes for them? I feel like every kid is different.
Yeah, so sizing is hard to answer, but technically the rules are it's 12 and under, so they are just the right age, actually. So you're good to go with that. And then dresses of size. I mean, I have found that dresses are quite accommodating in sizes. The largest one, I believe, is a US size 14, 16. Do they always have that in stock? And do they always have that in stock for every type of princess dress that they offer? No. So I would consider bringing your own dress if you have any potential size concerns. But they are definitely not too old. You see girls getting that Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique makeover in their like early, that the 12-year-old, the 10 to 12 range all the time. And like it'll feel like they're like luxury princess day. They don't make it childish for them. They'll make it really nice and they'll look stunning the whole cruise. So
I wish we could do the pirate one. Adults can do the pirate one.
And we can go and get an updo at the like regular salon, which I've seen really pretty ones. And I actually saw a family with a, I don't know, like 11-ish, 10 to 11 age girl, and then also a high school. And they were doing their makeovers at the same time, but one at Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique and one at Untangled. And they took pictures together after, and it was beautiful. So, Untangled will still do a princess themed updo for your 14, 15-year-old daughter, no problem. It's always an option that I kind of talk to my clients about because I do feel like sometimes people would really like the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique to go a little bit older, especially families with multiple children that are kind of waiting for their youngest to be a little bit older in order to get everybody on board.
Yes. We have a couple of people who would also agree that they would love to do Bippity Boppity Boutique and adults. And I remember what I was going to say for a placeholder. If you know yourself and you know that you're going to forget, go ahead and just put a reminder in your phone for that first day of the cruise. Just set it, or the second day, whenever, have it in your phone, have it go off so that you know to book it. It's 4 steps. It takes you no time at all. And then set a calendar reminder for when you get back. If you're going to use a travel agent, make sure that you confirm that they've gotten it, because I can tell you firsthand, sometimes technology things happen and placeholders don't get where they're supposed to go. They don't get booked, whatever happens. Crissi can then step in and make sure that everything's resolved as quickly as possible, because if you wait a month, 2 months out, Disney can't promise that it's going to be there. So set your calendar reminders now before you're like, oh no, it didn't happen. Oh no, my charge or my card was never charged. But placeholder. It's the best souvenir. Forget the ears, forget the lounge flies. Placeholder. I feel like Oprah. I'm like, placeholders for you, placeholders for you.
You get a placeholder and you get a placeholder.
Yes. Oh my gosh. This was so much fun. And I hope that if you're listening and you're like, okay, I feel better about this, I'm less stressed. That is the goal. We don't want you to worry about a Disney cruise. It should not be a stress. And that's why Crissi is here to help. Like we said in the beginning, her planning services are free. As you can clearly see, she knows this stuff like the back of her hand, and she wants you to have the best vacation of all time. Let her help. Let her help you with room selection, with the ship, with the itinerary. If you're like, there's two ships going to Alaska, and this one's going here, and that one's going there. Crissi's got you covered. She's got you. So reach out. That is linked to her page on the DCL community site. Crissi, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. And I hope that if you're watching, you do not make these mistakes, and maybe send this to someone that's going on a Disney cruise. Help them out, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, Crissi, thank you so much again, and we will see all y'all on board real soon. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.